welcome to Port Huron High School. I'm telling you, we're very excited about tonight because this happens to be the 63rd banquet, co-op banquet. And when you begin to realize all the businesses that these students and we've touched over the years, it's just amazing. And it's pretty exciting to have this that many years, 63 years. With that, we have just a great program for you this evening, and it's going to go rather fast because when Mr. Beeden, when he puts something together, it's one thing right after another. So I need to move right along. I would like to, at this time, I'd like Stacy Regulinski to come up here because she's going to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Stacy. Excellent job. Now, as you refer to your program, what we're going to be doing, instead of me jumping up and down and introducing each individual, they're going to, as we follow through the program, get up themselves and introduce them. So please, follow the program. Also, we're going to get right to one of the best parts of this program, eating. And Mr. Delkey from Port Huron Northern, my cohort, who we both enjoy working with one another. And I tell you, it's just a pleasure to have two great high schools like we do. And he's going to give the directions as far as who's going to be eating first. Now, if you happen to be the last table, it's Port Huron Northern principal, not Port Huron High, because he's going to give the directions that who's going to be eating first. So with that, Mr. Delkey.
Well, the last time I was here, I had to eat last, and I said, oh great, I'll never have to do that again. So he has me calling the tables off, so guess when I get to eat last. I'd like to start off, I suppose, with the head table, and if you folks would go. And then if you'll notice, you have a letter in your table there. They tried to fool me again without having numbers. They stuck letters in there.
You know what, Craig? I'll eat with you at the end.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, we're going to get started right now. We're having a little bit of technical problems, and I don't know if we're going to be able to resolve that or not with the PowerPoint. But at this time, I would like all the kitchen staff to come out, and Mary Kurkowski, and I'd like to give the kitchen staff a nice round of applause for this wonderful dinner this evening. Thank you very much. It was excellent. And please feel free to get up if you want seconds, because there's a lot of food there. Just a couple of things. Mr. Beeden, as we have different speakers come up here and talk, when Mr. Beeden has the opportunity to talk to everyone, he's going to be doing all the introductions. So anybody that Mr. Beeden, when he gets up here, he'll be doing all the introductions at that point. So again, I want to welcome Port Huron Northern and Port Huron High here. We're excited about this evening. And I have the privilege to introduce the superintendent of Port Huron Area School District, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones at this time.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure the great pleasure in being superintendent of schools is the children, and to see the children progress. It has not been but a couple of years ago that I was a child. Does anybody here believe that? I just age fast because of the difficulty of the job, and I'm really 18 or 20 years old. I lost track. I thought I'd get a laugh when I said that, but nobody laughed. It's okay to laugh. I know I don't look 18, and I'm not, but anyway. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the special guests. Janet Barrett, Jeff Dennis, Kenneth Summelsberger, Cara Bagley, Laura Crowell, Marla Philpott, Sally Meyer, and Myron Forrest. Are any of those people here? Stand up, please. Let everybody see you. Stand up, please. Stand up, come on, please. Okay, good. I hope I pronounced the name. And to each of you, I would like to extend my personal thanks for the work you do on behalf of the children. Also with me this evening are two of my bosses, Barb Daniels. Would you stand up, Mrs. Daniels, and Jeff Stout. And I have the distinct pleasure of being in the company of the Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Boytas. And with that, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. At this time, and I said she had all kinds of time because she needed to leave, but she's back here, is a student of ours, Stephanie Adolph, and she's going to be the co-op student speaker, and timing is everything. And really, I mentioned, oh, you have lots of time. Don't worry, because I thought we were going to have the PowerPoint. But with that, Stephanie, let's give her a nice round of applause.
On behalf of all the co-op students, I would like to welcome the co-op employers, teachers, administrators, and guests. The co-op program has built a bridge between the classroom and the workplace. Working as a co-op student in the Portland High School attendance office, I have learned things I will take with me with the rest of my life. For example, how to stay calm and polite with someone when they're being rude to you for whatever reason it may have been. With any job, smooth operating is the key to a successful business. Every position has equal importance. Therefore, working as part of a team makes work atmosphere stress-free. Co-op helps students develop self-confidence, teaches the importance of being reliable. Being graded in the workplace on performance is a helpful way to insight on performing in a business setting. For some students, co-op gives them a head start on their future career. For me, it helped me decide what I wanted my future career to be. Thank you, co-op employees, for your participation. I would personally like to thank my co-op employer, Ms. Johnson. It has definitely been a very exciting and interesting year. Once again, thank you to all the co-op employers for all that you do.
Okay, at this time, Mrs. Barb Daniels, Board President, has a few words for us.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be at this event. And I too, as a board president, want to thank the employers that take part in this. We know that that's extra work on your part, but it's so important that our students have this opportunity. Our job certainly as a school district is to educate our children, but part of that education is to prepare them for the real world, and certainly giving them job opportunities is an important part of that. I also want to thank Bob Beeden for his involvement in this program. Without Bob Beeden, I don't know that this would be possible. And I know that this is our 63rd year for this event, and I suspect Bob was involved in most of those years. But Mr. Bob Beeden is what I would say to be Mr. Co-op. So we're so grateful as a Board of Education and a school district to have Bob Beeden involved in this. I am particularly fond of the co-op program because I was a member of co-op. And it's hard for me to say this, but it was 35 years ago that I was part of co-op. And if you would allow me just a moment to explain why co-op was something I was involved in. I was actually a product of Catholic education. I went to a Catholic school for 11 years. And when my Catholic high school closed and Port Huron Catholic closed, I transferred in my senior year to Port Huron Northern. As you can imagine, that's probably difficult to go to one school with the same children for 11 years and then transfer over to a new school that was probably 4 or 5 times the size of the school I left. Really didn't know a soul. And I was a student I was a good student. I behaved myself, but when I got to Port Huron Northern, I was so miserable that I would skip school nearly every day and go over to PH, where all my friends were. And my counselor figured that out, that I wasn't in school all the time, and he called me into his office and said, you know, we have to stop this. I'm going to have to notify your parents that you're skipping school all the time. Well, gosh, to call your parents and tell them you're skipping school, well, that couldn't happen. So he suggested that I talk to the co-op teacher, who at that time was Al Gable. And Al Gable got me involved in co-op, and what I did was I got involved in what was called the Nurses Aid program back there. And I would say that was probably what helped me in my senior year to make my senior years something much more enjoyable and much more productive than a student who was afraid of being in a new school where they didn't know anybody. It helped me get to know people It helped me to get involved, and it certainly made my senior year and my last year in high school so much more productive than it would have been. So as a former co-op person, I am so grateful that this program is in place. It certainly made a difference for me. I never went into the nursing field, which was my goal at the time, and I know that many of you that were involved in co-op probably will not go into the field that you experienced as a co-op student. But the gifts that you got from being part of this will follow you throughout your working career. So again, thank you to the employers that are involved in this. Congratulations to the students that took part in it. And we hope to see these employers again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Daniels. And then our speaker for the employers this evening is Pam Hill, store manager of McDonald. Let's give her a nice round of applause.
Okay. Good evening and welcome. And my name is Pam Hill. I'm with McDonald's. I've worked there for 31 years with the Schultz family organization, starting with their dad many years ago. McDonald's is proud to commit our crew to follow their dreams through education. We work hand in hand with the Port Huron School District and with their students, particularly starting in the 4th and 5th grade with the When I Grow Up speech contest. It gives students a chance to start thinking about their careers and how education plays an important role. Next, we work closely with the administration through work permits, and we also follow state and federal guidelines for our crew. We at McDonald's strongly encourage all the extras that go along with school life, such as bands, sports, scouting events, and various clubs. Over the years, we've discovered involved students make a great team player, and we believe in teamwork. Finally, programs like this co-op shows how important education can be. It opens up avenues for young students to explore. McDonald's is proud to sponsor employee scholarships and also a nationwide scholarship program for college. When our crew spread their wings to college, we supply a preferred crew referral to transfer to a restaurant near their campus. We always leave our doors open for break time and summer employment. We love to know how they're doing. Over the years, I've seen many success through McDonald's, whether they stay working at our restaurant or while furthering their education or making McDonald's their career. My own children started at McDonald's. My son's a high school teacher at East Detroit High School, and my daughter works for me currently at the restaurant that I work at. Many other crew have passed through our arches to achieve their dreams, such as airline pilots, teachers, lawyers, law enforcement, firefighters, nurses, and yes, there are 3 doctors. For me, McDonald's has been an education, learning people, schools, training programs, equipment repair, food safety, product development, baking skills, and the list goes on. Many of you don't realize it, but as part of McDonald's management, training at Hamburg University in Chicago is also college credits. And to this date, I am still learning, especially computer skills, through my younger managers. Thank you very much.
I too would like to mention, I'm a graduate of Port Huron High School. I also was in the co-op program, and I tell you, what you learn from all the various jobs that you get involved in, you carry them for the rest of your life. And I'm much younger than Mrs. Daniels, but I tell you, the co-op experience was just absolutely, positive. So you're really connected with something that's pretty special. With that, at this time, we're going to be awarding the certificates, and I'd like Mrs. Cheryl Boytos, the Assistant Superintendent, to come up at this time. Let's give her a nice round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to be here tonight with you. Before we proceed with the awarding of certificates, I'd like to congratulate the students here this evening. I'm really proud of you, and I'd like to thank the employers for giving our students this opportunity. Please know how grateful we are as a school district for what you've done for our kids. And now, I hope I get this right, Mr. Bean. Here's how it works. Students, you have a certificate to present to your employer, and employers, you have a certificate to present to your students. Would you please stand up and exchange those certificates? Congratulations, everyone. Yes, you're welcome.
Seriously, you talk about your business.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce two lovely ladies who are the daughters of the real Mr. Co-op, which was Mr. Donald Wismer Sr. I'm delighted that they're able to be with us this evening, and ladies, would you come up, please? And we're going to present the Co-op Awards for this school year. Round of applause, please.
Thank you. If you look at the program, I hope you figured out by now that I'm not Don Wismer Jr. He is our brother, and he's unable to be here this evening due to an illness. But on behalf of my brother Don and my sister Laura and myself, I want to once again thank especially Bob Beaton, the rest of the administration, and the school board members for continuing to honor our father in this very special way. I was thinking today that my father was born 100 years ago. That's a pretty long time. And he retired as co-op director 35 years ago, and he died 30 years ago. So if you put all of that together, it shows how special it is to our family that you all continue to recognize him through this award. Please know that if you are a recipient, we are looking for you to demonstrate the same positive characteristics that our father demonstrated. He had an extremely strong work ethic. He showed immense integrity. He was loyal, and most important to us, it was his devotion to his family. So we congratulate the winners, who are Port Huron High School, class of 2006. The Don Wismer Senior Co-op Student of the Year Award goes to Brittany Mosher. Do you want to say that? Come up. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Hi. The Don Wismer Senior Co-op Student of the Year Award for Port Huron Northern, class of 2006, goes to Kevin Smith.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you once again.
If it feels like we're moving along rapidly this evening, it's because we are. We have the Academic Awards ceremony that's coming up at 7:30, and what we're going to do is, as soon as we finish the program, we're going to play the DVD of the co-op students, so we hope that some of you will be able to stay for that. At this point in time, I'd like to recognize the co-op coordinators who are the real day-to-day people that make this work. Connie Cray, would you please stand, from Northern, or from PH rather, formerly of Northern. Linda Peedy from Northern. Larry Delecta had some family issues that he needed to deal with this evening, is unable to be with us. But also I'd like to recognize John Snyder, who's a marketing teacher up in Northern, and he helped us out. From time to time we have to retool a little bit, and that's exactly what is happening with all the graduation requirements, but certainly we hope to have the program around for another 63 years. If you look at the cover, I think it's important for us to understand about career and technical education. Depending upon who you listen to, anywhere from 70 to 90% of all the jobs that are in the United States of America, and maybe even globally, particularly if you read The World is Flat. Is that true, Mr. Jones? And so it just goes to show you why we need to have more business classes and why we need to have more students participating in business, because frankly, that's where you're going to end up. So we're continuing to try to work on that, and this program certainly helps students get pointed in that direction. One of the things that we'd like to do this evening is we'd like to have Stephanie Adolph come back up, as well as Pam Hill. Would you come up, please? Those two. Stephanie. We'd like to present them with the flowers for their participation in the program as speakers. And now if you look at the inside back of your program, you'll see an asterisk. And if you have an asterisk on your program, would you raise your hand? All right, now there should be one hand up at every table here. All right, come on now, let's get her done. All right, now you can just simply reach across and take the flower that's in front of you. And that's our way of saying thanks for you attending this evening. So once again, on behalf of the students, the employers, the administration, the Board of Education, and all the teachers that are involved with this program, we'd like to say thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your sincerity and for caring about children, because that's really what it's all about. They are our future. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. John Snyder, who's going to try to get our DVD program set up again. And for those of you that need to go to the Academic Awards program, feel free to do that at this time. Mr. Snyder, please.